1979, the National Commission wrote a thing called the Belmont Report that established the principles and ethics for protecting human rights. There are three aspects of the Belmont Report. The first is respect for persons, the second benevolence, and finally justice, which we'll talk about later in the video. It's also broken down into 5 subparts. The first subpart is ethics for all human subjects. The second, part B, is for pregnant women and fetuses. The third part establishes protections for prisoners. The fourth, children. And the 5 explains the registration for the IRB.
Respect for persons is a very critical part of the Belmont Principle, and there are the major part of respect for persons is informed consent, and there are 3 aspects to informed consent. Voluntariness, meaning that your participants have to be willing to participate in your study. You can't just force them to do it. Comprehension of the information that you're giving them. If they are, for some reason, unable to understand what you're telling them, then that is not a part of informed consent, and you can't have them participate. And the third major aspect is disclosure, meaning that you will tell your participants the purpose of the study, the risks and the benefits involved, the alternatives to the research protocol, the conditions of the study, and compensation for injury should that happen during the course of the study. However, certain parts of informed consent can be waived as determined by a approval board if the risk is minimal to everyone involved. Also, diminished autonomy is a factor in informed consent, because people who have diminished autonomy are unable to give informed consent because they do not have the level of capacity or the ability to comprehend the information that's being given to them. And this can happen with age, cognitive dysfunctions, injury. Any of those things can result in a person having diminished autonomy.
With this, beneficence is very important. Beneficence involves maximizing possible benefits and minimizing possible harms to research participants. With beneficence, it involves informed consent, as she mentioned, and there's also minimal risk, and then there's also compensation involved. And then the next thing is justice, and justice is fair procedures and outcomes with selecting the research participants that are going to be involved. And with that, there is individual justice, which you have to go through certain things to make sure they are eligible for the research. And then there is social justice. And then with social justice, it involves protecting women, and then minorities and children. And then first, before you do all that, you're going to have to go through the debriefing process.